Well, let's do it, chat. Draft time. Let's see how this goes. It's a big time, as always. Especially, too, if we get into the next few years and neither of our two teams make the most of their opportunities. This could be that new wave of talent that step in to help make things happen. If you bring him back, I'll have to stop watching. The only player baffle what's going on, man. Before we even get to this draft, I need to know why the AJ Pierzynski hate. I mean, I can think of a few reasons, I guess, as to why he would have been dislikable. But that also feels very... It feels personal to be like, you know what? 19 years later, still hate AJ Pierzynski. Then again, there are players in sports where I'm like, yeah, fuck that guy. I don't care if it's been 20 years. So I get it. I get it. The goatee, I'm an Angels fan. Okay. That's all you had to say. That's all you had to say. I understand. To the 2031 draft we go. By the way, everybody, if you haven't, check out old Baffle99. Good streamer. Very, very good streamer. Variety, sports variety, for the most part, I should say. He throws in some Fortnite from time to time. But, plus he's a dick. That's fair, too. All right. So, my White Sox have the 10th overall pick. Chat's at number 23. The Cincinnati Reds have the first overall pick. I think the second year in a row, if not the third. It's ridiculous. They take, you dickbags. Let's be honest, there was no way he was falling to me at 10, but that is the third baseman I really could have used. They crushed my hopes and dreams immediately. Doyle John on his way to the National League. Have fun with that, chat. Doyle John. Seattle second, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed, they take Marco Cortez, the starting pitcher. He's projected 9th. Better now than at pick 9. I would have liked the drama, you know? Third overall, Mickey Bradley, the second baseman on his way to Texas, rocking a mustache that only a man named Mickey could rock. Mickey Bradley rounds out the top 3. Oh, Doyle John. His overall might be kind of low, man. He's not really going to be elite at anything. Interesting. He has a good starting overall, but he might not be elite at anything. You guys had Cortez a little bit scouted. Your scouts liked him as a top 10. Mickey Bradley, neither of us had scouted. Baltimore at 4. Your scouts really liked Edmund Corona as a top 10 pick as well. Second baseman Ted Bastar, neither of us had scouted. Manuel Sachin. Your scouts also liked as a top 10 pick. Washington, another starter, and another top 10 worthy pick, Jose Gonzalez. San Fran at 8. Tommy Noseworthy, who your scouts viewed as a fringe first rounder. And Chicago, Angel Arellano, who your scouts fucking hated. White Sox are up at 10. Now, relief pitching wasn't one of my gigantic needs, but how do I not take Domingo Fernandez? Oh, Domingo. Whew. Wants $10 million, by the way. Jesus Christ. Who else is in the mix for me that I have info on? There's also another closer in Kirby Morey. No chance of being an A, though, but a good overall. Then right field, which is in my kind of range, Pablo Andino. I do not like that attribute report at all. That screams super low overall. I could be wrong, but that screams super low overall. At 19, that's got to be closer to that 52. I'm not a fan. Not a fan there. Fernando Nieves, the other closer's better, obviously. Catcher Justin Hall. It's not too bad. He's going to have average fielding. Could be a decent hitter. I don't think anybody's topping that closer. Seth Morris, another closer. He's not going to be as good. Left field, Alex Gonzalez. Could be a decent power hitter. It's got to be the closer. I don't have a choice here. He is easily the best player left in this draft. At least that I know of. My scouts. We're taking the lefty, the closer, Domingo Fernandez. That's a no-brainer for me here. My scouts viewed him as the second best player in the draft outside of the #1 overall pick, Doyle John. So I'm good with that. We'll skip ahead to chat's pick unless you guys want to go pick by pick here just to see who else goes off the board, including another starting pitcher that your scouts absolutely hated that was projected as a first rounder, let alone a top 10. Arizona takes another starter, Aaron Zavala. Your scouts liked him a good amount, too. A lot of starting pitching going off the board early, which is very good news for you guys, given that you needed a shortstop or a corner outfielder. Speaking of shortstops, Nick O'Neill off the board. Your scouts liked him as a top 10 pick. It's rough to see him go off the board, and there goes the corner outfielder, Pablo Andino. Both of our scouts agreed, first-round pick. Pittsburgh take another corner outfielder, Mike Perry, off the board this time. He was viewed as a second-rounder, late second-rounder. Boston takes Adrian Gonzalez. Let's hope that it works out better this time than it did last time. Thanks, Gonzo. That didn't work well last time. Antonio Franco, another corner outfielder, off the board. My scouts viewed him as a second-rounder. Yours hanging in that first-round range. Justin Hall at catcher. My scouts liked him. We took a look at him, but obviously not good enough for me to take him here. Nicky Shavitz, the second baseman, off the board. Neither of us scouted him. The Angels at 20 take Emery Perry, the center fielder. Neither of us had him scouted. 2 picks away from the Rockies here. At 21, Miami take starting pitcher Ray McFarland. Barely scouted. Your scouts liked him as a second rounder. And St. Louis take Carlos Cuevas. A third round starter, apparently. So let's see who's on the board for you guys here. Again, now there are closers, but you didn't look at him. There was a starter here, Greg Flores. Doesn't look like he's going to have the highest rating in the world, but solid. Yes, there's the injury. He's not going to be a future ace, but he is going to be a future starter. Even if it's a 4 or 5, maybe even your long reliever. He's not horrific. Shortstop Joaquin Arm. Ooh, chat. You need a shortstop. Well, you can take the sure thing starter or risk it a little bit for Armas. You only have him 50% scouted. But if your scouts are right, that's going to be a hell of a player. Is there anybody else who your scouts viewed as a first rounder? Alex Gonzalez, the other 18-year-old corner outfielder. Looks like he has good power in the future. Anybody else that you were able to actually fully scout out? Jose Francisco is a starting pitcher who is best guess. Another starter, Johan Melendez. Rich Reyes is a shortstop. Any disagreement about going for Armas and just hoping for the best? I mean, if he is as advertised, that's a future MVP candidate, basically. Like that could be insane. We have a pick in 8 picks. All right. Joaquin Armas on his way to Colorado. in what could be the steal of the draft. That could be outrageous. We'll go ahead and sim to your next pick. You do have the prospect promotion pick. Every single player that I pinned otherwise is still on the board. Oh, the starting pitcher's still going. So let's see who is still here for chat at this stage. So Greg Flores is there, the reliable starter, but probably not elite. Alex Gonzalez in left, 18 years old, so high risk, high reward. Left field was in your top 3 needs alongside shortstop. Starter and Jose Francisco, high risk, high reward. Rich Reyes, the other shortstop, doesn't quite look as good as who you just took. Dave Rahav as a starter, another guy who looks like solid but not a future ace. And high risk, high reward starter Humberto Cortez. However, very low interest on him. So it really is down to those 3. Your next pick after this is not until pick 58. So again, you got the solid starter, nothing special. High risk, high reward left fielder in Gonzalez. And the high risk, high reward starter in Jose Francisco. If I'm you guys, I go for one of the high risk, high reward picks. I don't think there's any point in playing it safe when you don't have to. Both Gonzalez and Francisco are 18 years old. Flores is 21. Again, Flores is more of a guarantee to be solid. These 2, high risk, high reward, one in the outfield, one as a starter. Again, your top 3 needs were shortstop, left field, right field. The second tier was first base, center field, and starting pitching. So technically, left field was a bigger need than starter. But either way, you probably can't go wrong. But it is up to you, chat. You got 1:45. We're going to throw it to a vote here due to indecision. And we'll see who you guys think. So the poll is now live. Refresh if it does not pop up for you. And with 30 seconds left is when I'll be calling that vote. And we will see who you guys think if it's not very one-sided. As Gonzo is looking like he is going to be the guy. It has been decided. Chat's going to risk it for Gonzalez. Honestly, I would have done the same. Alex Gonzalez is the pick. Off to Colorado. Again, high risk, high reward. As 18-year-old players are in this game. So I'm up next for competitive balance round A. Would have liked to have ended up with Nieve. Yeah, the closers are going. Shit. All right, who's available for me here? Kirby Morey. I mean, almost guaranteed to be a B and a 70 overall. Kirby's not bad. Michael McVeigh. A little bit more high risk, high reward. I trust Morey more than him, though. Reliever Charlie James. I mean, Morey still looks like the guy. Even though James could technically be an A, his overall could also be lower. Reliever Robert Maeda. Big time risk. Big time risk. Another reliever, Cosmo Sanchez. Big time reliever pressure here. Closer, Richard Alleman. Alaman is okay. Third baseman, Howard Roberts. Looks average at the plate in a lot of ways. Good defensively, though. He is 18. High risk, high reward. Christopher Butner. High risk, high reward. Vaughn Mateo as a closer. Yeah, I got my guy. I'm going to take another reliever. I didn't plan on having to go for relief pitchers, but they're there for the taking. Kirby Morey. Welcome to Chicago. So I have the next pick at pick number 48. Greg Flores goes to start off the second round. Francisco's gone. Bay, Caraballo. Yeah, a lot of pitchers here. So 48. What do I got here? Alleman, high risk, high reward. Buettner's high risk, high reward. I'd rather go for the other guy over Mateo. Dwayne Drew. Torrey Bundy, born on a Monday. Rich Gill. Alfonso Maderos at first base. Okay. And Chris Masters, the masterpiece. Also first baseman Jackson Ojeda. Okay, so for me here, it could be another closer. And old Dick Alleman. Good velocity, good future strikeouts. Pitch control leaves a bit to be desired. Buettner. Doesn't look like the best hitter in the world. 20% scouted, super high risk, high reward. Dwayne Drew, super high risk, high reward. Torrey Bundy looks a little bit more likely over the other two. And Alfonso Maderos at first base, Jackson Ojeda at first base. Who's better between the two? It's got to be Maderos. Yeah, it's got to be Maderos. I'm down to 3. I have 2 closers already. Kind of needed a right fielder. I need another first baseman in the system. Bundy can play first base. He looks like more of a guarantee, Bundy. Maderos is best guess. When the hell's my next pick? Not for a long time. I can only get one of these guys. Now is the time to risk it, perhaps. Well, got 90 seconds here. It's tough because I think Alleman might be the best, but do I really want to take 3 closers? Bundy's bonus demand is very low and his interest in signing is high. I'm gonna go. I think it's got to be high risk, high reward, right? Go for Maderos. Let's be honest, Jackson Ojeda would be high risk, high reward, especially as a switch hitter. Starting overall is going to be shit, though. I'm going to go with my gut on this one. I'm going to take the right fielder. Or am I? I need a first baseman more than the right fielder, but... Torrey Bundy, come on down. I don't feel great about that pick. We'll see what happens. Chat's up next at pick number 58. Let's see who's on the board for you here. Dave Rahav is a starter. Similar to who you didn't take in the last round. Looks to be a little bit more of a sure thing. He won't be a future ace, but he's solid. He is 22, though. Humberto Cortez, high risk, high reward starter, but again, his interest is really low to start off. Giuseppe Parra. Looks to be more of a defensive first option. If his overall, but then again, his overall probably isn't higher because you have him 90% scouted. He'd be a big risk. You'd have to hope he's closer to a 60. If he's a 52 at 21, that's not going to work. Estevan Arnez. 19-year-old. I mean, high risk, high reward. You might as well look elsewhere. Chris Buettner is there. Again, though, does look like he's going to have a low starting overall. My scouts said about as much. Ryan Pennick. Another one of those starters. Going to be solid, but nothing crazy. Shortstop, Roberto Salinas. Probably not that great at the plate. Dudley Tashner at shortstop. It's a good thing you guys took that shortstop early. Well, if you don't want to go for one of these options here, I know you're probably looking at a starter. Again, Rahav is more of a sure thing. Cortez is the high risk, high reward. It is a little bit early to take somebody on blind faith because you don't know what their interest level is going to be. Who are you thinking here, chat, based on those you have info for and who your scouts liked? Could go for an outfielder. You did just take one in the last round. Again, Rahav, more of a safe bet at starter. Cortez, higher risk, higher reward. And then both outfielders, high risk, high reward for Buettner, Para, super high risk because he might be a super low overall. Rahav getting some shout outs. Going once on Dave Rahav. Going twice on Dave Rahav. Sold on Dave Rahav. All right. Next up, Jack gets a competitive balance round B pick, in which Giuseppe Para is still there. If you want to risk it for Para, now is the time. Or would you like to look elsewhere? Is now the time that you want to risk it on Para? Be Penix, Salinas. All right, chat wants Para too. So there you go. You might have gotten a great 2-for-1 if Para's overall isn't terrible. I'm up next to pick 85. Jackson Ojeda is still there. That's insane. Well, that's a no-brainer for me that I'm taking Jackson Ojeda as my high-risk, high-reward first base option. That's insane that he was still available. Or maybe not. Maybe he's shit. Chad at number 98. We only got a minute. Shortstop Dudley Tashner, defensive specialist. Trent Segura at shortstop, defensive specialist, not the best range in the world. Starter Jake Van Valkenburg, kind of starter. Esteban Estrada could have a very high overall, but he's probably a C potential as a starter. And that's about it. There's also Jared Wood, who could be a decent starter. That's about all we have time to look at. There's also long shot shortstop Edgar Cabrera. Chad, any names? You got 20 seconds. I'm seeing Segura. Going once on Segura. Segura is the guy. Chat doubles up on shortstop with Trent Segura. Round number 4, I'm up at 115. Octavia Rich. High risk, high reward reliever. Harvey Valentine at first base. High risk, high reward. Bill Ullman in left. Shit. That's the guy. That is the guy. Edgar Moreno. Clay Kelly. Johnny Montez could also be decent. Ian looks like shit. I got my guy. I'm just going to be left fielder. Bill Ullman. High risk, high reward. I'll take the outfielder, Mr. Ullman. Chat's up next at 128. Edgar Cabrera is still there. High risk, high reward shortstop. Outside of that, Monte Norton. Probably not the highest potential, but could be a good starting overall. Left fielder, Edgar Moreno. Big time long shot. Starter, Ruben Canning. Probably more of a middling starter. Leo Garcia as a starter. High risk, high reward. And then also Ronald Colon. Probably not high risk, high reward. Chat, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? These are the best options you got here. I'm seeing Moreno to add to the outfield depth. Moreno. Cabrera gets a shout. Going once. All right, Moreno's the guy. I agree. I don't think we've seen a single two-way player. I like that it's a rarity, though. It should be. All right, round 5. I'm up next. I got 2 players left between Kelly and Montez. Guillen, probably a good starting overall, but a terrible potential. Nielsen's not looking that good. Santos. High risk, high reward for Andy Duncan. Super high risk, high reward for Garth Woodward. Ekstrom. He was in last year's draft, and somebody didn't sign him. Thomas Horton. Really nobody that's like high risk, high reward. Looks middling. Orlando Batista is an interesting one. Salgado, Ramon Pollard. Pollard's super high risk, high reward. I got to be honest, just for the potential power, Orlando Batista. Let's see, for Chad at 158. You still got high risk, high reward starter Leo Garcia, a couple other safer bets. Is the draft any different than last year? No, it is the same, except you can't control 2 teams at once. What else do you have info on here? Michael Best, not looking that good. Chat, you're about out of information here. So you got 1 high-risk, high-reward player left in Leo Garcia, or you go for somebody that you haven't even scouted yet, like Johnny Montez in left, or who has a good Ramon Pollard at catcher. You could go in blind faith, or you can go for Leo Garcia. Chat's going with Garcia. So the next pick will obviously end up being blind faith. Leo Garcia's in. Then it's me in round number 6. All those dudes I had on my list are gone. Salgado's not looking that good. Third baseman Reyes, I could risk it on. Oliver Beach, high risk, high reward. Pablo Viesmil. Michael Best not looking that good. Melvin James not looking that good. Devin Wayne at 23. His overall is going to be terrible. High risk, high reward either way. High risk, high reward either way. Catcher or third base. They were both needs. I don't think either of them are going to be particularly great. I'll go for Reyes. That works. Chat's final pick. Again, it's probably better to go for a higher ceiling, although Norton could be a B with a good starting overall. If you don't go for Norton, you're looking at first baseman Devin Wayne, but he's 23. I mean, that's pretty much it, honestly. Monty Norton's your best bet. He is. I mean, you just got to hope that he's on the higher end of those ranges. That's pretty much all that's left for you guys. So it's not even really a decision. It's just go for him. So the 2031 draft comes to an end. The big question, what the hell are these draft options going to look like? Oh my God, Coors Field for the Home Run Derby featuring Mountain Oyster of the Rockies. Well, we have to pay attention to the Home Run Derby, don't we? I think we have to. The hometowner Mountain Oyster is in. He is in the Home Run Derby. We'll have to see what happens. We'll do what we did before. Probably sim through that first round. If he makes it past the first round, gives us reason to be invested, we'll get invested. But man, the fact it's at Coors Field is always fun. So he is in round 1 against San Diego's Gunnar Henderson. Ebert Ruiz, Fernando Tatis, hidden by my webcam, Devers, and Davison De Los Santos, Torkelson, and Shea Langeliers. All right, well, what we will do, you know what, fast forward the next batter. Langeliers put up 21. Torkelson only put up 12. Davison De Los Santos on Kansas City puts up 13. Rafael Devers advances to the next round. So Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson is the opponent here for Mountain Oyster. Wins a World Series in Baltimore, cashes out in San Diego. Let's see what Gunnar can do over the next few minutes. Fouls one off down the right field line to start. Big question. That's going to be the first one. I was going to say the big question is going to be distance here. 447. Needs one more 440 for the bonus. That one goes 428. It's going to be another one. He's catching his stride early. That's bad news for the Oyster. 479. So the time bonus is earned. This one looks like it's going to go to left. Henderson on fire. That's going to be another one to left. Unless there's too much height. 488. Good God. I mean, Henderson is rolling. 476. This one's hooking. It's going to go, though. Yeah, 370. Henderson going to be putting the pressure on Mountain Oyster. This one looks like it's hooking foul. And it does. So the streak is broken. It's 7 in a row. Jesus Christ, the crack of that one. 486 off the roof. Henderson's found his power game in this reality. 466. And that one will be double digits. A tough pace to follow already. And Henderson still has plenty of time. Might be one and done for Mountain Oyster. 423. Catcher, you're discounting a potential of 10 years worth of steroid use, my man. Of course he could have this type of power almost 10 years from now. Let's see, that one out to left center doesn't go. That one's gonna go. How far? 478. Opposite field power for Henderson, but he pulls another one to right. 487. Jesus Christ, the moonshots. That one would have been a nice base hit. I don't think Mountain Oyster's making it to the next round, guys. 501. Henderson breaks the 500 mark. Mountain Oyster is going to need to put on a Josh Hamilton-esque show, as this one's going to stay fair. 433. That one's hooking foul. It goes 455. It wrapped around the post. Or as tremendous streamer Jugsy Siegel likes to call it, the fair pole. One's popped up. That one's likely not going. Henderson. An incredibly impressive performance in the first round. That's going to put Mountain Oyster, the hometown hero, in a lot of trouble. Oyster's the 3 seed. He has the 3rd most home runs in the majors this year. Henderson has 21. And it might just be 22. That one missed. That one's hooking foul. He gets his 30 seconds of bonus time now. That one doesn't go. Is he tiring out? That's going to be number 22. What a performance by Gunnar Henderson. 426. Could be the last one. Down the right field line. One more chance for Henderson. And that should be 24. At 451, including a longest of 501 feet. Whew. And here comes Mountain Oyster. Last year's NL Rookie of the Year. Fucker looks like Albert Pujols' cousin. He fouls off the first one. Henderson did the same. That one is also hooking foul. 15 seconds gone without a home run. That one's going to go for his first. 459. That one's not going to go. I miss the old out of 10 home run derbies. I mean, the most entertained I ever was by a home run derby was the Josh Hamilton year. So, I'm all right with this format. There's the time bonus earned at 488. He has to find a rhythm. That one should be gone, and it is 459. First one out to left. Doesn't go. Has to check swing. Foul off again. Oh, no. It's a home run disaster for Mountain Oyster. Unless he can get into an incredible rhythm. Another foul. Oh, man. That one smoked. 480. This one going out to right center. Does it have the distance? Yes, it does. 459. That one's hit hard. Out to deep center field. 502. Henderson capped out at 501. That one fails to go. It's pretty much got to be perfect from here. And in that 30-second bonus, 432. This one is absolutely smoked. 480 again. That one's short. Yep. Great. One hit out to right. That should have the height and the distance. 402. Needs 14 in 100 seconds. 388. He keeps getting these high inside fastballs. That one doesn't go. His elected pitcher is not doing him any favors. That one also fails to go. It was fixed. That one also falls short. I'm surprised they haven't programmed the kids in the outfield running around to, to participate. Not gonna happen for old Mountain Oyster. 468. He's at the halfway point with 53 seconds to go. 481. He cannot miss. And even if he does, it might be over. He missed. That one's gonna be fouled. Oh, man. Mountain Oyster unable to live up to the pressure. That one doesn't go either. At 13. Oh, Oyster. Another foul. Gunnar Henderson has advanced. A rough showing for the hometown boy and Mountain Oyster. Yeah, that just didn't go his way. It just did not go his way. You can see the red lines for Oyster. I mean, Henderson had the ability to go to either side. Oyster did not, and that very much cost him. The winner of the Home Run Derby in 2031. Wow, Shea Langoliers ended up winning it. Outdueled Torkelson, Devers, and Keibert Ruiz. Henderson only hit 15 in the second round. 24 was the second highest amount in one round. But way to go, Shea. Congratulations. A winner is you.